Here, we talked a few weeks ago with you about the schedule that you guys built and how tested your baseball team is going to be in the early part of your season. So far, knock on wood, you guys are passing these tests. A road-ranked series win for your ball club's got to feel really good.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, thankful for any victory, obviously, but to go to a great program, well coached, a lot of good players, a lot of great arms, and to be able to get that series win on the road was huge for our guys to do, and realize that they're capable of doing that.
I have a question about the psychology side of coaching. So in game one, some unearned runs for TCU, some opportunities to get out of innings, stuff like that with your team couldn't seal the deal. TCU gets some, I don't want to call them free runs, but we're able to get some runs in part because of Southern Miss mistakes. How do you, as a coach, address that with your team? And you guys played much cleaner baseball in games 2 and 3 and ended up winning the series. How do you approach that after kind of like a rough night of giving free bases and runs and things like that?
Well, I really went back to the Tuesday game at Ole Miss, too, that, we were just pathetic on the mound and giving up too many freebies, walks, hit by pitches, pass balls, just a lot of soft runs. And it carried over a little bit Friday. We had, like you just said, so I, kind of just laid it out there to them that, man, if you want to be a great ball club and stuff, you got to quit doing the same things over again. The things that are beating you got to change that up, and you got to make adjustments. And baseball's a hard game, and I know these guys are trying, but once they did clean it up, they saw the results, and which is obvious. We all know that if you play clean baseball, you got a chance to win. But you just kind of address it. It is what it is. You can't just say, don't worry about it. We'll be better next time. You got to make sure they're mindful of it and put that attention to, the thing we say a lot is, do your job. Each one of you has a job to do. Do your job, whatever that is. And so that's kind of the mindset we're going with.
Coach, is it too early in the season to say that a series could have a postseason feel? Because you think about you're playing a ranked team on the road. I mean, that kind of feels like a super regional, a 3-game set there. Did you get any kind of a postseason feel from this weekend?
I know that that's a postseason caliber team. That's an environment. That's what it feels like. We got some guys on this team that haven't been there yet. A bunch of them that have. So I think they know the magnitude of it, and to get to where we want to get to have a chance to host a regional, to have a chance to win a conference tournament, to have a chance to, get to Omaha. You're gonna have to win in hostile environments, and so it's good to go in there and do that, and it's just part of the story that this group's writing and the building block. And again, now they know, hey, what we're capable of when we play good baseball.
We're going to talk to all 3 coaches today. We'll talk to you, Coach Lemonis, and Coach Bianco. And one of the questions we're going to ask all of you is about your Friday night guys, because all 3 of them have been exceptional for this year. So J.B. Middleton this year, when you look at the stats, I mean, Coach, you know a little bit more about pitching than I do, but his numbers look pretty good to me. He hasn't given up an earned run yet in 15 innings, 16 strikeouts to only 6 walks. His ERA is a flat 0. That seems pretty good. Tell us about what you think of him through three starts so far.
Well, what you just read, that does sound really good. I'm like going, heck yeah, I'm high-fiving, but I'm also real critical. That kid could be elite, and we're challenging him to keep going at it and continue to work on strike percentage, stuff like that. But his stuff is good, and when it's in the zone, he doesn't get barreled a lot, so just trying to clean it up, man, just trying to tighten it all together and just make it as efficient and as good as it can be, because he's not there yet, and I still think there's more to come.
Big game tomorrow with Mississippi State up here in Starkville. I guess we'll ask you to play weatherman first. Have you heard anything from State about this game and whether or not it's going to happen?
Just got off the phone with Chris not long ago, and he was their folks are in meetings and stuff, and I think they'll be making a decision here pretty soon, before too long, on what the status will be.
All right. Well, you have Coach Lemonis in just a little bit. Maybe he'll have a decision by then. What's your plan for pitching up here tomorrow?
It'll be a staff game. I mean, it'll be especially, just we got a couple injuries or a couple guys that just aren't quite back yet. So, it'll be a game that we'll see multiple arms. I honestly, I still haven't named the starter yet. And but I know it's coming, and but it'll be a multitude of arms.
Coach, you've got a linebacker playing first base for you. He also had a really successful weekend at the plate. What can you tell us about Russo that fans maybe don't know about him?
Well, our fans know about him. Our fans know that he's one of the most infectious players on the field. He plays with passion. He loves it. He's smiling, and it's genuine. It's real. It's authentic. So those that don't know who we are or get to see much and they catch it, that's just what he is. Sunday, before Sunday's games, I had a good conversation with Kirk Sarloos, with TCU's head coach, and he brought it up. He said, man, I can watch that guy play all day. The energy he plays with, he has fun, he's smiling, he plays hard, he competes. And I said, well, man, that's who he is. And I shared that with Matthew, and I said, man, that's what it's about, man. Just know who you are and don't be ashamed of it. And he's a really fun guy to be around.
You got 7 complete with just one run from Sibley on Saturday. You win a close game there. And only 1 strikeout, which is back to call back to a question from earlier. Team doesn't play their best defense behind their pitchers on Friday. Turn around, and you've got a guy that goes 7 complete, really efficient, played great defense behind him as well.
They did, man. Those guys were flying around out there. Nicky Monastery at second base. He was like, man, he was just sliding around, making plays left and right. It was awesome. And, but no, that was, defense. You got to play good defense. Sibley's going to throw strikes. He's going to give up contact. He's going to get his strikeouts. He had a bunch coming into that, but TCU was kind of tough to put away, man. Their approach was kind of, you had to execute really well. And, but anyway, there's multiple ways you can, go through a lineup and get outs, but other than just strikeouts. But Sibley was really good, and our defense played behind him, and we needed that, man. We needed that after, losing 3 in a row. We needed that game, and went and got it and carried momentum into Sunday.
Coach, does your team have a little more pop at the plate than maybe you thought they would at the start of this season? You got 17 home runs in 12 games thus far. It feels like you're putting one over the fence at least once a game. This team can really drive the ball out of the park. Is it surprising you just how much power you seem to have early on?
No, I'm not going to say I'm surprised. We saw it in the fall and stuff, and, the scrimmages leading up. I thought the capability was there. I mean, you still have to go do it, and but no, I think there's some slug in this lineup. I mean, the potential for some slug in the lineup. So, hopefully that'll just keep heating up as the weather heats up.
Coach, on the midweek approach, so you said it's a bullpen game. I'm curious from your perspective on, you've got within your state a couple of SEC programs that you play in the midweek. How do you balance as a coach, wanting to beat these teams in your state, wanting to win these games, while also protecting your bullpen to make sure that you guys are ready for your weekend series and for the long haul through Sunbelt play? What is that like for you in making decisions on who you pitch and how long they go in these midweek games? That can certainly help a resume, but you don't want to extend your guys either.
That's tough, man. That's kind of that tough call. I felt it all these years as a pitching coach and just trying to figure out how much, how little, when to get him, who to start in these midweek games, because you don't want to limp into a weekend series by any means, especially once you get to conference. But yeah, I mean, every game matters to us, man. I mean, for our program, and we need to go out there and try to stack up as many. So we treat them all the same. It's not like we wait, throwing off or saving guys. You're just trying to be intelligent. You're just trying to be efficient and using guys the best you can to help you win that game. But it's also hopefully setting you up to where you're okay, for the ones coming up behind it too.
Well, Coach, congratulations on yet another successful weekend. I know that you've got a lot more big ones coming up, but that was impressive to see your ball club go on the road and get a ranked series win. Thank you for your time, and we'll talk to you again next week.
And Coach,
all right, thank you. I appreciate it.
Coach, real quick, in case you're still on, Mississippi State just announced they're moving you to Wednesday, 4 o'clock.
Well, there you go. I knew it was coming, so I thought it was going to be soon. So there you go. We'll see him Wednesday.
Thanks a lot, Coach. We appreciate you.